Did you know your very first meal of the day might be quietly shutting down the blood flow that keeps you energized, steady, and confident as a man over 60? Too many men blame age for weaker erections, numbness, or that heavy feeling in the lower body, when in reality their breakfast is the hidden culprit. But here's the hopeful part: with just a few simple changes to what you eat in the morning, you can actually restore circulation, muscle strength, and vitality where it matters most. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 specific foods that have helped my patients feel results in as little as 1 week. Before we dive in, I'd love to know more about you. Just drop your age in the comments or even type a simple 1 if this topic speaks to you. I read every response, and your feedback helps me keep creating the kind of content that matters most for you. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another tip that could change the way you feel every single day. I'm Dr. Nora Blake, a urologist who spent over 25 years helping men take back control of their health and confidence. Now let's get started. Most men I meet over 60 come in with the same complaints. Erections aren't as strong as they used to be, energy feels flat before the day has even started, or there's that unsettling heaviness or numbness creeping into the legs and lower body. The first instinct is to point the finger at age. Doc, I guess I'm just getting old. I've heard that line countless times. But here's the reality: most men never consider it's not always age that's stealing their strength, it's what they're putting or not putting on their breakfast plate. That quick cup of coffee, that piece of toast snatched on the way out the door, or worse, skipping breakfast altogether, is often silently sabotaging the blood vessels and muscles that keep you steady and confident. The very meal designed to set the tone for your circulation is the one being ignored or mishandled. And that is why so many men misinterpret their symptoms as inevitable aging, when in truth the decline is being accelerated every single morning by routine habits. What makes this truth hit even harder is that the signs feel so familiar: slower mornings, less stamina, weaker erections, that they blend into the story of getting older. But the actual culprit may not be your birthday, it may be your breakfast. Once you see that clearly, a new possibility opens. If the wrong foods can drain the circulation, could the right ones actually bring it back? That's the question that changed the lives of thousands of men I've worked with, and it's the same question we're going to unpack together right now. In over 3 decades as a urologist working with aging men, I've sat across from thousands who believed their best years were behind them. They shared the same frustrations: fading intimacy, shrinking energy, and that creeping sense of losing independence. Their voices carried disappointment, resignation, even shame. Yet as we dug deeper, a pattern kept revealing itself. Most of these men weren't failing because of age, but because of what they weren't giving their bodies at the time it needed it most: the morning. Again and again, when we made the right adjustments, circulation improved, pelvic muscles regained strength, sensitivity returned, and with it came a renewal of confidence. It was never magic. It was never overnight. But the body responded, often faster than they thought possible. That's the hopeful discovery so many men miss. Aging does not erase your body's ability to heal or restore blood flow. It only demands more precision in how you fuel it. I'll never forget one patient, a retired engineer in his late 60s, who came in convinced nothing could help. He told me he had tried everything, but in truth, he had never tried using food strategically. 2 months after changing his breakfast, he came back with a smile I hadn't seen before. "Doc, I thought it was gone for good," he said. But it wasn't gone. It had just been waiting for the right support. Stories like his are the reason I say this with conviction: your body wants to recover, even now. The right foods taken at the right time unlock that potential. And if men who believed they were finished can turn it around, so can you. That raises the next natural question. If it isn't medication, if it isn't just waiting for age to decide your fate, then what exactly are the tools we can use each morning to bring circulation back online? Here's the truth I want every man listening to remember: your body is built to restore circulation, to repair vessels, to strengthen muscles, even after 60. But only if you give it the right tools. Those tools aren't found in a prescription bottle or in some complicated treatment plan. They're found in simple, familiar foods that you've seen your entire life but likely never realized how to use with precision. I'm talking about 5 very specific morning foods that work directly with your biology to improve blood flow, reduce the inflammation that clogs vessels, support nitric oxide production, so arteries can open, strengthen the pelvic floor muscles that control erections and bladder function, and stabilize the nervous system so sensitivity and response stay sharp. These aren't exotic superfoods or miracle supplements. They're everyday ingredients sitting in your fridge stacked on grocery shelves that have been overlooked simply because no one taught us how powerful they can be when eaten at the right time. That's the surprising part. Most men expect a complicated solution. Instead, it's deceptively simple. What changes everything is not the food alone, but when and how you use it. That timing, that morning window, is the body's most responsive hour, the moment when vessels are open to repair and muscles are hungry for fuel. Miss it, and you lose an opportunity. Seize it, and you create momentum that carries through your entire day. That's why I tell men don't underestimate these foods. Don't write them off as too basic or too familiar. When chosen and timed correctly, they can outperform expectations and deliver results most men thought only a prescription could give them. And here's my promise to you. Stay with me through this video, and I'll not only show you what these 5 foods are, but exactly how to use them to restore vitality below the waist. But knowledge means nothing if you don't act. So as you listen, commit to yourself that you won't just absorb the information, you'll try it. Start small, start tomorrow, but start. Because that one choice in the first hour of your day could be the difference between decline and renewal. Now, before I reveal the first food, I want to pause and speak directly to you. If you're serious about reclaiming your circulation and energy, I want you to give me a signal. It doesn't have to be complicated, just type the number 1 in the comments if this topic speaks to you, or a simple 0 if it doesn't. That quick gesture tells me where you stand, and more importantly, it helps me shape this channel around the issues that matter most to you. I read every response because your feedback isn't just data, it's a window into the challenges real men are facing every day. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the tips I share are designed for men in your exact stage of life. Don't underestimate this simple interaction. A small action like clicking 1 or subscribing might seem trivial, but it represents something bigger. It's the first step toward change. Men who participate, who declare even in a small way that they're ready, are the men I see follow through and achieve results. And right now, you have that same opportunity. Because what I'm about to share with you isn't theory. It's practical, proven, and within your reach starting tomorrow morning. So let's not waste another minute. Let's look at the first food, one you probably already have in your fridge, but that you've been overlooking for years. When most people think of yogurt, they imagine a light snack, maybe something to eat on the side if there's time. But for men over 60, plain yogurt is far more than a snack. It's one of the most powerful ways to prime your circulation at the start of the day. Inside every spoonful are probiotics that calm the hidden inflammation lining your blood vessels. That inflammation left unchecked is one of the biggest reasons circulation slows and blood flow to the lower body becomes restricted. Alongside probiotics, yogurt provides protein and calcium, 2 nutrients critical for strengthening your pelvic floor muscles. These are the muscles that control erections, maintain bladder control, and keep you balanced as you move through your day. When blood flow declines with age, those muscles are among the first to weaken. But feed them properly in the morning, and they begin to respond. You may notice more stability when you stand, fewer cramps or tingling sensations, and yes, greater confidence in intimate moments. I've seen it happen time and again in my patients. One man, James, came to me at 65, convinced his best mornings were behind him. He hadn't had a morning erection in over 2 years. All we did was add a simple bowl of plain yogurt with a drizzle of honey to his breakfast. Nothing elaborate. Within 4 weeks, he called me, his voice cracking with disbelief. "Doc, I woke up feeling like I was 40 again." That's not marketing hype, that's biology. By fueling his body at the exact time it was most receptive, he allowed circulation to come back online naturally. This is the quiet power of yogurt when used strategically. And that's why I call it the circulation primer. It doesn't just feed you, it wakes your body up where it matters most. Now that we've ignited the system, we need to do more than prime. We need to sweep the arteries clean and set the stage for lasting flow. The second food may surprise you because of its simplicity. A warm bowl of quinoa topped with almonds is not just comfort food, it's a circulatory powerhouse. Quinoa is packed with magnesium and fiber, both of which are essential for relaxing blood vessels and improving blood flow. Think of it as gently telling your arteries, it's safe to open up. For men over 60, this relaxation isn't optional, it's essential. Tight constricted vessels are what create that constant heavy feeling in the legs or the lack of stamina in the bedroom. By introducing quinoa into your morning, you're giving your arteries the signal they've been waiting for. But it doesn't stop there. Add almonds, and the effect multiplies. Almonds are rich in healthy fats, vitamin E, and antioxidants nutrients that calm inflammation and fortify the lining of your blood vessels. Together, quinoa and almonds create a combination that not only supports your heart, but also directly impacts your ability to achieve and sustain healthy erections. I once worked with a gentleman named Robert, age 69, who felt like his body had started shutting down after retirement. His energy was low, his legs felt heavy, and intimacy had all but faded. I asked him to swap his sugary cereal for a bowl of quinoa topped with almonds, blueberries, and a dash of cinnamon. Within 2 weeks, he noticed his legs felt lighter. Within a month, he was sleeping better, waking with more energy, and experiencing benefits in areas he thought were gone for good. His laughter filled the room as he told me, "Doc, I didn't think a bowl of quinoa could do this." That's the lesson. Small, deliberate choices create ripple effects you never anticipate. By replacing empty carbs with nutrient-dense fuel, Robert had transformed his mornings into a launchpad for better circulation, better energy, and better confidence. And that's why I call quinoa, with almonds, the artery cleaner. It's simple, it's affordable, and it tells your body from the very first meal of the day that it's time to flow again. Now that we've primed the system and cleaned the path, the next step is to accelerate circulation with a natural booster that works on the same pathway as common medications, but without the side effects. And that food is coming up next. When I mention pomegranate to many of my patients, they usually smile and say something like, "Doc, isn't that just a party fruit?" They think of it as decoration on a holiday table, or something you toss into a salad for color. But what most men don't realize is that this fruit holds one of the most powerful keys to circulation, especially where it matters most. Pomegranate is rich in polyphenols, compounds that fuel your body's production of nitric oxide, the same molecule that popular erectile dysfunction medications target. Nitric oxide is your body's natural valve opener. It signals blood vessels to relax and widen, allowing more blood to flow freely into the tissues of the lower body. And unlike a synthetic pill, pomegranate works with your body's own systems, not against them. I've seen men feel the difference faster than they ever expected. One patient, Michael, age 63, was skeptical when I suggested adding pomegranate seeds to his mornings. He laughed at first, thinking I was prescribing a garnish. But within a week, he called me with genuine surprise. "I don't know if it's the fruit or just me eating breakfast again, but something's definitely waking up down there." He wasn't imagining it. The nitric oxide boost from the polyphenols was giving his arteries the signal they needed. By the second week, he noticed not only stronger morning erections, but also greater sensitivity, which is often the first thing men lose as circulation slows. The key, however, is how you use it. To maximize the benefits, pomegranate should be eaten on an empty stomach or just before your main breakfast. A handful of fresh seeds or a glass of pure, unsweetened juice is enough. Avoid the sugary, flavored versions. They cancel out the very benefits you're trying to gain. This isn't about adding sugar. It's about unlocking nitric oxide. For men over 60, this can be one of the simplest, most effective ways to reawaken the body's natural flow. But circulation is only one piece of the puzzle. To truly stabilize your mornings, you also need to restore balance to your nervous system and provide steady fuel for your muscles and arteries. That's where the next food comes in. Avocado may not strike you as a circulation food at first glance, but let me explain why it belongs at your breakfast table. After a night of fasting, your body wakes up running on empty. Your muscles, your arteries, even your nervous system are waiting for fuel. Give them the wrong kind, and you stay sluggish. Give them the right kind, and everything from your legs to your pelvic nerves comes alive. Half an avocado mashed with a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil is one of the most efficient stabilizers I've ever recommended. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats that keep arteries flexible instead of stiff. They're also packed with potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure and reduce strain on blood vessels. Combine that with olive oil, which is loaded with anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants, and you get a breakfast tool that not only supports circulation, but also sharpens nerve signaling, something that naturally declines with age if left unchecked. I had a patient named William, age 72, who came to me with complaints of heavy numb legs and a dull ache in his groin every morning. He'd tried stretching, massage, even medications, but nothing worked. I suggested something deceptively simple: start his day with half an avocado, a drizzle of olive oil, and a glass of warm water. He didn't believe it would matter. Yet 3 days later, he called to tell me his legs felt lighter, and he no longer needed to steady himself against the nightstand just to get up. That's how quickly the body responds when given the right morning fuel. What makes avocado with olive oil so effective is its balance. It doesn't just improve blood flow, it also nourishes the nerves that carry sensation and regulate muscle contractions. That means greater sensitivity, steadier balance, and smoother circulation all at once. After priming with yogurt, cleansing with quinoa, and boosting with pomegranate, this stabilizing meal rounds out the foundation for lasting vitality. But we're not done yet. There's one final food, small, dark, and often overlooked, that can strengthen your arteries even further and ensure they stay resilient for the long run. Blackberries may look humble, but don't underestimate their power. These small dark berries are packed with anthocyanins, potent antioxidants, that directly strengthen the walls of your blood vessels and improve their elasticity. As arteries stiffen with age, circulation becomes less efficient and the body's responsiveness declines. Blackberries fight back against that process, keeping your vessels more youthful and flexible. Along with anthocyanins, they're also rich in vitamin C and fiber, both of which reduce inflammation and support overall muscle health. The combination creates a breakfast edition that doesn't just taste good, it actively works to preserve your vascular system. One of my patients, David, age 66, decided to add a handful of blackberries to his yogurt every morning. Within a week, he noticed a difference. His energy was higher, his legs felt lighter, and he even reported improved sensitivity during intimacy. He told me, "Doc, I never thought something this small could make such a difference." But that's the beauty of blackberries. They don't shout, but they deliver. For best results, use them fresh or frozen and add them to a smoothie, mix them into your yogurt, or eat them as a simple side. The key is consistency. A handful a day is enough to start reinforcing the very vessels that keep you energized and capable. By this point, you've seen the progression. Yogurt primes circulation, quinoa clears the arteries, pomegranate boosts nitric oxide, avocado with olive oil stabilizes flow and nerve function, and blackberries lock in resilience. Together, these 5 foods form a toolkit for restoring blood flow, energy, and confidence. Now the question becomes, will you let them sit in your fridge unused, or will you take the first step tomorrow morning and turn them into action? At this point, you don't need a complicated overhaul or a strict diet that feels impossible to follow. What you need is one clear decision in the first 60 minutes after waking up. That single window of time sets the tone for your circulation, your energy, and your confidence for the rest of the day. Skip it, and you reinforce the cycle of decline that may have been creeping in for years. Seize it, and you begin a cycle of repair. The plan is simple. Choose one of the 5 foods we've just covered. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be all 5 at once. Just one. A bowl of plain yogurt with a drizzle of honey, a warm serving of quinoa with almonds and cinnamon, a handful of pomegranate seeds, half an avocado with olive oil, or a small handful of blackberries with your breakfast. What matters most is that you don't skip breakfast anymore, and you don't wait until you're already tired, hungry, or behind on your day. That first hour is when your blood vessels are most responsive, your pelvic muscles are most ready to receive nutrients, and your nervous system is open to balance. Miss that moment, and your body slips back into the pattern of restriction and fatigue. Use it wisely, and you start fueling repair before the day can drain you. The changes don't take months to show up. In as little as 2 to 7 days, men notice real differences. Warmer legs and groin, lighter steps, better sleep, more consistent energy. and in many cases, stronger morning erections returning after years of absence. That's not coincidence. That's the biology of repair activated by a simple commitment in the first hour of your day. For years, many men unknowingly gave up that hour to coffee alone or nothing at all. And that one habit slowly eroded the strength they thought was lost to age. Now you know differently. You know that one small change taken tomorrow morning can break the cycle of decline and replace it with a cycle of renewal. And before we finish, I want to leave you with one final truth about aging strength and what it really takes to reclaim your body. If there's one lesson I've learned after decades of working with men over 60, it's this: age doesn't take your strength. What takes it is the moment you stop believing it's possible to change. Most men don't lose their vitality because of the calendar. They lose it because they let go of the choices that keep them strong. And now you've seen how simple those choices can be. 5 everyday foods: plain yogurt quinoa, with almonds, pomegranate, avocado, with olive oil and blackberries used at the right time, in the right way, can help restore blood flow, improve sensitivity, support muscle function, and bring confidence back into your daily life. These aren't gimmicks or fads. They are real biological tools that speak directly to your body's needs. The secret isn't just in eating them, it's in when you eat them. That first hour of the morning is your chance to prime circulation, fuel muscle, and set the tone for the entire day ahead. You don't need perfection, and you don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start. Start tomorrow. Pick one food, give your body that signal, and let each morning build on the last. That is how men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s have surprised themselves, regaining energy, intimacy, and a sense of independence they thought was gone for good. Remember, strength doesn't disappear unless you give it away. Vitality doesn't vanish unless you stop feeding it. And hope doesn't die unless you let it. So don't wait for another day to pass. Tomorrow morning, reclaim your first hour. Let your breakfast become your medicine, your fuel, and your statement that you are still in control. This isn't the end, it's the beginning of a new chapter. And it starts with your choice at breakfast.